Hey, hey, what's happening? Let me see. IG, Facebook. Good. Hey, what's happening? I think I got everything lined up pretty good. I'm gonna wait till I can. I'm not gonna wait too long on anybody, but I am going to let a couple people get in, and 2 people are here. Yes, that's all I was looking for. So I'm gonna be by myself. I don't like all those long introductions and all that stuff when you're waiting on a replay. My lighting's okay. It's a little off on Facebook, but it's good on IG, baby. I like it. I like it. What's happening? Happy Wednesday, family. How are you? I don't know if you've been following me or not. I am Sharice B, and I got some stuff I want to share today. I got some good stuff I want to share. Some feel good for your timeline, baby. Yes. So, how you feeling? How are you really feeling? That's always my question, because, you know, we can feel good and we can feel good temporarily, but it takes a strategy and some real intention to feel good as hell all the time. And people ask me, Sharice, what do you mean feel good? I can't feel good all the time, you know, and I know you can't feel good all the time. But let me explain to you why I'm so big on feeling good. Because here's the thing. There's some things that are going to happen in life to us, and there's some things that are going to happen for us. Typically, hey Nisi, everything that's happening to you is happening for you and not to you, okay? It's all about the attitude that you have in that thing, right? But what I mean by feeling good is when you feel good, you feel good. And all of us, I think, are addicted to feeling good. I know I am. And I've had some things happen in my life that have made me feel horrible, made me feel terrible. But I happen to be innately optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person. So I have to try to look at the good. And sometimes it's very hard to look at the good, you know, in some things. But on the other side, it's always, hey Steve, it's always something good in it for you on the other side, if you know how to look at that thing, okay? I know it takes some transparency, it takes a lot of transformation, right, in life to be able to see things optimistically when it has hurt you, you know, when it has really hurt you deeply. But as you can see, most times we make it on the other side of things, right? We make it, and it's basically based off of your attitude. You know, you can make it on the other side of it and end up in an ugly place, or you can make it on the other side of it and be in a good place. It's really all up to you and the attitude that you have behind it. That's why I'm so adamant about feeling good, okay? And one of the things about feeling good, yes, I know there are times that you just feel bad. Sometimes we have death in our family. Sometimes we have illness. Sometimes we have pain in our bodies, you know, hurt and, you know, rejection, just deep things that just hurt so dearly. Hey, Kristen, that hurt deeply. But what I've learned in that thing is to feel it. Go ahead and feel it real good. While you're in that pain, you need to not avoid it. You know, while you're in that situation, you need not avoid it and run from it. You gotta face it. And what a lot of us have done throughout these years, whether it be childhood pain, childhood issues, rejection, fear, doubt, from the rejection or from the pain, from anything. What I'm saying is you got to face it and you got to feel it and you got to feel it real good, okay? Because the only way to get over it and to be able to detach from it and let it go is to feel through it. And that is why I'm so adamant about feeling good and feeling good as hell. Some people mistake it, but that's because they don't listen, and that's because they don't dive deep in enough with me to understand why I am so I'm so passionate about feeling good as hell. I know. Either way, you gotta feel, right? So you might as well feel it while you're in it and feel it good, feel through it. So on the other side of it, you can feel good instead of feeling bad. You understand me? You following me? Are you following me? So listen, this space that we're in now, we're in a space that none of us have ever been in before, with this election, with this pandemic. We don't know what's what. It's just a lot of uncertainty, right? I know, Dijon. I know it's you, baby. It's just a lot of uncertainty. And that's okay. It's a lot of uncertainty with work. It's a lot of uncertainty with relationships. It's a lot of uncertainty with just life, period. Not knowing what's next. Where are we going? Do we invest our money? Do we save our money? Do we try to hold on to this relationship, or do we exit this relationship, right? And this is the space that we're in where we have to start to make decisions, okay, and really realize who we are, okay, and what we stand for. If you have never in your life had a clue of who you are and what you stand for, now is the time, baby. Now is the time, because we're having to stand up like never before. We've been educated like never before. Things are being exposed in life like never before. I purposely made it a point to intentionally and strategically educate myself on things that I would have never imagined. Politics, for instance. I don't want anything to do with them. That's why you don't hear me talking about it. I don't get in the conversation, but I have most certainly educated myself more on politics than ever in my life, which is why I have the stance that I have, right? That's not our topic for today. My topic for today is why I'm showing up here at 11 o'clock. I asked you to meet me at 11 o'clock. 11/11, it's November 11th at 11 a.m. Why I asked you to meet me at that specific time. You might not know, you might just be showing up, but I did ask you to meet me. It didn't matter, I didn't really promote it much. I just mentioned it a few times on my social media. This is specific for me, okay? And I'm gonna make sure that I say this so people can see this later. But it's things I want you to pay attention to right now in this time, because we are in a very significant time in our lives. You have to pay attention. You have to know who you are, and you have to know what you stand for. Nieces and nephews, friends, cousins, sisters and brothers, you have to know who you are and what you stand for at this point in life, okay? It's detrimental to everything, okay? You have to get clarity on who you are, what you stand for, and what you want. If not, we're gonna continue to get drugged out here, period. That's not my topic for the day either. Just something I wanted to touch on. What I really specifically wanted to touch on was how important it is for you to move and do things in a certain way right now, okay? So, the reason why I asked you to meet me today at 11:11 is because, for one, 2 years ago, yeah, because we're in alignment. Nisi, we're in alignment. And you have to know that. And that's why you have to move in a certain way in this time in life. Okay? Because with things being so uncertain out here in this world, what you have to do for yourself is be certain from within. Right? I can't wait to read your post, Nisi. We have to be certain from within, because we cannot control what's going on out there, right? But what you can do is you can control your actions, right? You have to be accountable for self, right? You have to have personal responsibility for who you are, what you stand for, and what it is that you want out here. Period. Okay? And it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But the thing we cannot continue to do is move with the herd. We cannot continue to move like everybody else is moving. Because trust me, things have changed. Hey, Danielle, things have changed. And I want you to ask yourself, do I want to continue? Do I want to continue to stay the same, or do I want to move forward? Let me change that around. Do I want to move forward, or do I want to continue to stay the same? Right? And with all this uncertainty, I'll say it again, with all this uncertainty that we have going on in the world, the one thing that you can do is be certain with yourself and within, okay? You got to know how to move. You got to know how to run your family. See, these are things that I wasn't taught. I wasn't taught that family is a business. I wasn't taught that marriage is a business. I wasn't even taught how to run a business. You know, my cousin and I, we just, yes, Bree, because we are aligned, baby. It is alignment. It's alignment. We have to move different. I'm so proud of y'all for doing what y'all are doing out here so young. You know, it's really funny because I'm 48 years old, and I have a real heart for those 40-plus-year-olds who kind of missed that boat on this whole digital world, right? Whereas things, you know, for my nieces, things are so easy for them. They catch on to this thing, this digital life and this digital world, you know, making money on the phone and all that stuff. Whereas we were caught, 40-plus-year-olds were caught on the cusp, right? And because we came up super old school, out in the streets grinding, you know, getting out there in the streets, hitting the pavement and meeting people face to face and networking face to face, just the old school way, right? When in the middle of our businesses, in the middle of everything that we do, boom, a shift happened. Like a whole shift happened, right? And we're like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm gonna keep doing things the way I do it, the old school way. When you can keep doing it that way if you want to, and it's parts of it you can continue to do, because one thing that I pride myself in is customer service, you know, and a personal relationship, right, with people. But trust me, a shift did happen. We did have a shift that so many of the 40-plus-year-olds did not shift with, right? Right. And then you wonder why business is different. You wonder where your clients are. You wonder, you know, why things fizzled out, and, you know, why am I so tired? You know, why am I still working like a slave? Why am I doing things like this when they're over here making money in all these other different ways and avenues? Because the shift didn't happen for you personally, for the ones who didn't make the shift, right? And I admit, I made the shift late. I made it very late. And, hold on. Sorry, my IG, I don't know how to work it. I be trying to get it together, and obviously it ain't working. So, the shift for me was late. And, you know, for me, I looked up one day and I realized that, hold on, did you say? I realized that, there we go. I realized that I didn't make the shift, and oh my God, everything is off. I was in a business mess, a personal mess, a marital mess, just a mess, because I personally did not make the shift. Personally, in business, you know, period. Culturally, whatever. I just didn't make the shift. And certainly, I didn't think I was stuck. I certainly thought I was up on things. I was ahead of the game because I was always ahead of the game. But let me tell you what got me so stuck. I was so head down in the middle of trying to build business the old way and trying to make things happen the old way that I didn't look up and realize that things had changed. You know, I was so busy trying to help other people because I so thought I had my stuff together. And as things were shifting and changing, and I'm still head down, boom, things had changed on me. You know, they were different. It's like I woke up one day and I looked and I'm like, oh my God. And then it was hard to catch up. It was hard to catch up to the point where I feel like I didn't catch up. I feel like things were just completely dismantled in order for me to get it. You know, like things had to really, truly, for me, because I'm hard-headed, I admit it. I'm very hard-headed. I'm stubborn. I'm Aries, so for those of you who know astrology, I'm Aries, that's all I say. I'm very stubborn. And once I lock in on doing things a certain way, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's how I'm gonna do it. But that's why you have to learn how to be open. You have to learn how to be more transparent. You have to learn how to be fluid and flow, because there's a certain way and a certain time that you're supposed to lock in. You lock in, but you still got to wake up and look around and see what's going on to make sure you're keeping up, right? You do. Because if you don't, and you lock in the wrong place, in the wrong space, in the wrong time, you'll get left behind. Like I felt like I did. You know, I felt like I got literally left behind. So there comes a time out of necessity, okay? And now is that time out of necessity that you have to recalibrate. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to know that it is time to reimagine. It is time to realign and redefine everything about you. Everything. Business, personal, marriage, siblings, children, parents. You know, you have to redefine those relationships. It's up to you to redefine them. Because guess what? Nobody's going to redefine it for you. And guess what? They're not going to do it because they're comfortable. They're comfortable. You made them comfortable. You put in all that work and you've made yourself and everyone else comfortable around you, but you want more. You need more, right? And that's who I'm talking to today. I know specifically my women, men too, I'm glad you're here, and stay here. Stay here. I'm home, baby. Yes, I'm home. I made it. And specifically, I'm talking to my women, but men, I need you to stay tuned because this message could be for you too. So while we are in a space, a very significant space in a time where it's so uncertain around us, It is so necessary for you to be certain from within in who you are, what you want, what you stand for in this world today. Because if you don't know, especially what you stand for, you're going to be swept on along, baby. You're going to be herded on along like we have been all along. We have been being herded along. And if you don't get that, you still being left behind. You know, we have to wake up. And you have to put in the work that it takes in order to see clearly what is going on around us, right? I hope you can resonate with that. I'm not going to preach long about that. I'm talking to my men and women, but especially my women who know that they are meant for more. And I ask you, you know, are you living a mediocre life or are you living a radical life? And which do you really desire? Do you desire to be mediocre and stay mediocre? Or do you desire to be more radical? How do you think you're going to get to where you want to be if you have all these big desires? In order to achieve those big goals and desires you have, you got to move out of being mediocre, baby. You're not going to get it being regular and being mediocre. And I'm going to tell you, the best thing, the most genius thing that you can do for yourself right now, the most genius thing you can do for yourself right now is know who you are, know what you want, know what you stand for, and believe in that thing with your whole soul. And never, ever, 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 ever give up on it. I don't care what you go through. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care if you wake up scared. I don't care if you wake up in fear and in doubt. I don't care if you wake up in these old feelings that you don't seem to know how to let go of, that you don't seem to know how to detach from. The old thoughts, the habitual thoughts of negativity, the thoughts of how am I going to do it? The thoughts of I've never done it before. What are people going to think? Oh, I'm too overweight. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not educated enough. I don't have enough degrees. I don't have any degrees. Did you hear what I said? The number one thing I need you to do is know who you are, know what you stand for, is it clicking? Know who you are, know what you stand for, know what you want and believe in it with your whole entire soul. Who else is going to believe in it with you? Who else is going to believe in you with their whole soul besides you? It's your soul. It's your stuff. It's what you want. It's who you are. You have to believe in it with your whole soul. And you have to never give up on you. You got to move out of needing validation. You're already a genius. You're already brilliant. You're already a healer. You're already a wealth builder. But you want to sit around and play mediocre games. You want to play with mediocre people that don't want the same things that you want. I don't know why you're over there still playing with them anyway. They don't even have the same conversations you're having. You don't even like the conversations anymore, but out of habit, you call and listen to them anyway. You call and talk to them anyway. You let them talk crazy to you anyway. You know you can change that, right? You can change it. You can really change it. Remember, you are brilliant. You are a healer. You are compassionate. You are sensual. Baby, you are sexier than ever. Right now, today, with everything that you got. And it's more. There's more to come if you do the work. I know it's uncomfortable. You want to lose weight? Go work out and eat right. You want to get married? Would you marry yourself? Oh, would you? Maybe you would. But if you want to get married, ask yourself, would you marry yourself? Would you date yourself? Would you? You know, you want to look better, you want to look more polished, you want to attract a certain type of man, a certain status of a man. What are you looking like out here? Are you looking like a woman that a man of a certain status would even approach? Do you act like it? You want to build wealth? Do you act like you deserve wealth? Do you feel and know in your heart that you deserve wealth? Do you speak it? Do you exude it? Do you captivate a room when you walk in it? You want clients that will pay you the money that you deserve? Do you look like you deserve to be paid by a high dollar client? Do you? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. You want a school, you want an academy. Have you been putting in the work? Because I remember I talked all this stuff. I talked a great game. A great game, because my desires have always been big and huge. But I did so much talking and doing for others that I wasn't accomplishing my own goals. Come to find out, when I did the deeper work, come to find out I didn't believe in myself. I believed in myself this much, so I did that much, and I got that much. And for most people, that much was a lot, and it looked good. Look, let me tell you something. I'm an expert. I'm the master at making things look good. You can ask anybody on here. If they've worked with me, baby, I'm going to make you look good and feel good. That's what I do. But what I realized is we can look good and we can feel good all day. But if we are not doing the work that it takes to get ourselves to the next level, the next dimension, what is it for? What is it for? I ask you. You know, so many of us are just walking around wanting radical things, but still messing around mediocre. I know all about it. Trust me. Trust me. And I had to literally be dismantled. I wasn't the type that got the lesson kind of as I'm doing the lesson. Some things I did, some things I didn't. But me, like I told you, I'm hard-headed. So you're going to have to throw me out the window. I'm going to have to burn and crash, be dismantled, like I said. And I got that word from a message, the pattern. I have this app on my phone. I had it on there last year. This app on my phone. And it came through, and the message said, in the middle of my dismantling, y'all, literally, it said, you are being dismantled. Your life will never, ever be the same again. Okay? And that is why this message was so important for me on today, 11/11, is because 3 years ago, I got a message, right? Didn't even realize when I got the message, right, that my mother who is deceased, been deceased for many, many years, I got a message from someone that said my mother had been trying to tell me that I was not being my authentic self, right? And I'm like, what you mean? And here's the thing, this is a little woo-woo. This might be too woo-woo for you. If it is, I'm sorry. You hear it, you can jump off or whatever. But I got a message from someone that told me that my mother sent them a message to tell me that I was not being my authentic self and that she was sitting there tapping her foot, wondering what's the problem, what am I doing? And I heard that message and I'm like, okay, mama, okay, I hear you, but I didn't really grasp the message, right? And then I got a message about that I was, gonna go through some crazy stuff, yada, yada, yada. That I was gonna go through some crazy stuff in business, my personal life, and in my marriage, right? I'm like, okay, oh Lord, what is it? But Miss Optimistic me, I'm like, well, it can't be that bad, because I'm a good person and, I be doing the right thing. So, and lo and behold, the next year, I believe, is when I went through hell in my business life, my personal life, and my marriage, right? Didn't even realize what I was going through. I didn't even realize it was so crazy, the stuff I was going through. I think I was in shock. I was like, oh, okay. I think I walked around in shock like a zombie, at least for a good, probably year and a half, right? And then, maybe a year and a half, maybe two. Then on 11/11 last year, that's when a shift happened for me, right? It's like, and I'm not gonna go into details, but it's just like, and I had been doing work. I had been putting in my work. Y'all. I had been diligent, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been putting in my spiritual work for a long, long time. And I truly believe in my heart that it paid off for me at that time. But it was like, I got a very, very clear message from my mother. Another very clear message from my mother in a dream. Okay? That was clear, I couldn't deny it. It wasn't from anybody else. It was from my mama, okay? And she was in my dream and she told me something very, very specific. She told me something specific about my gifts. She told me something specific about caring about what people thought about me and what I'm supposed to be doing out in this world, being authentic, okay, being myself, doing and she clarified something that I read in a book called The Science of Getting Rich, and this one thing I remember is your original thoughts are the truth, right? The original thoughts that God gives you, the original thought that came through your mind, the original thought, not the one that got tainted when you thought it and then you said it out loud and somebody else threw something in, or even you threw something in. No, the original thought is the truth, is your truth. And she reminded me of that, and it just reminded me of my original thoughts, right? I'm like, okay. And it took me back to some things that I had said yes to that weren't my original thoughts and my authenticity. Some things that I said yes to because it was just in line and it made sense and it looked good at the time. It made absolute sense at the time, but because I forgot who I was, because I forgot what I stood for, which maybe it just wasn't clear, right? Maybe it just wasn't clear at that time. Being that I could be pulled off my game, pulled out of my pattern, pulled out of my source or pulled out of my path, right? Maybe I just didn't quite know who I was or what I stood for or what I wanted at the time. Maybe that's why it was so easy for me to say yes to things that were not aligned with where I was going. But thank God. Oh, I'm so thankful that things happen for you and not to you. I'm so thankful and grateful for that, because everything in my life that has happened to me has happened for me to make me a better woman. It happened for me. So when it was time for me to be dismantled, when it was time for me to be deconstructed, when it was time for all that other stuff to just go away, for it to all be burned off me, that I could still be standing strong in who I am, what I know, what I believe, knowing what I stand for. And it hurt. It really hurt. To my core. That shit hurt. It felt like when I lost my mother. That's the comparison that I have. But you know what? Because of the work that I had put in, because of the wisdom, because of what I know, I had to stand up. I had to stand up in that thing. And I had to remember clearly who I was and what I stood for and what I wanted. And remember to never look back. You don't look back for what? You know, it's not even necessary to look back because it's gone. It's gone. You put in the work and you detach from that, and it's gone. It's over. All I have is forward. There is nothing back there. There is nothing back there. Now here we have residue. You're going to have residue of the fear, the doubt, the rejection, you know, the no's, the I'm not enough. You know, yes. It's called residue when you hear those thoughts. But now I have the power from within me to hit that thing with an immediately positive affirmation, with an immediate burst of confidence, right? Guess why? Because I know who the hell I am. Because I know who I am, whose I am, what I want, and what I stand for. Right. Exactly. And so do you. You do too. Sometimes you just need to be reminded, because we get overwhelmed. You know, especially now in these uncertain times, there are so many mothers who are new teachers alone. I can speak to that alone. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a businesswoman, you're running everything. And then now I got to be a teacher too. You got to be a teacher too to multiple children. You are the bomb. You are the bomb. You are everything. But let me tell you something. It's still more for you. While you're being everything for everyone else, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. And you gotta face self. Okay? You gotta face self. And you gotta be aware of, what am I dealing with? You know, why do I have so much anxiety? You know, we know you have so much anxiety because you're dealing with things you never dealt with before. But dang on it, you're dealing with stuff on top of stuff that's new, brand new, that you never dealt with, right, before. on top of the things that you never dealt with from your past. You wonder why you got so much damn anxiety. You wonder why you have so much weight on you, why your hair is a mess, your clothes are a mess, your relationships are a mess. It's too much. You got too much going on. You got to release some of that. And you start first from that mess from the past, that baggage from the past that you've been carrying for so many years. And it's stuff that don't even belong to us that we're carrying. It's unfortunate, but we are. But let alone the things from the childhood on this earth, and then the stuff as an adult, baby, you got a lot on you that you're carrying by yourself. And a lot of women don't even have help, don't even have support. But you can help yourself by taking personal responsibility for why you feel the way that you feel. Okay? It's a whole nother level of work that you got to put in. I know, and it doesn't always feel good. No, it doesn't feel good at all. But in order to get to that place of feeling good, so it will feel good to you, so that you can deal with it, so that you can digest it instead of just packing it and packing it and packing it on and one day passing out, literally, you know. You got to deal. You got to face self. You got to deal with self. You got to take personal responsibility, right? I know. Because I need you. The world needs you desperately to be who you are authentically. We need you. Okay, you got so much in you. You have businesses in you. You have books in you. You know, you have healing in you. Those things that you are carrying, that's for you to help heal somebody else, not for you to keep carrying. It's for you to get through it and heal through it so you can go help somebody else who would never get through it unless they have you. Right? I know. So this is for my women. Man, I know. Thanks for showing up. You too. It's for you too. But you know how I feel about my women and supporting my women, helping my women heal. Because I know deep down inside of you, I know that you healing helps heal others. And I know you helping to heal others helps heal you. I know this. I've lived it. I'm a living witness. I know this for sure. Okay? And that's something that I want you to really, 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 if nothing else, I need you to grasp onto. You are needed. You are needed in operating mediocrely out here. You'll never get the opportunity to even show up and help and heal nobody. I know you. You're compassionate. You love people. And let's admit it. We all want to love. We just want to love and be loved, right? But how you going to love and be loved when you won't even allow yourself, you won't face yourself enough to be healed enough so you can love somebody and be loved? And I don't mean just in a female-male relationship or, you know, just a lover's relationship. I mean in general. Love is universal. I love you. If you're here, I love you. And I just love to love people. I love to love. And I love to feel good. And I love to be happy. And I love to see other people happy. Right? That's just me. I don't know. But I'm going to jump off of here. I have some announcements to make. I'll make those later. I'm going to jump on here tonight at 11 p.m. also for my late crowd. I have some people that love to talk to me late night. But it's okay because I got something for you too. But I just needed to give you that energy today. It was important that I release this message at this time today. I had to honor my mother. I had to honor myself. I had to honor who I am, who I have been, who I am, and who I am becoming. Okay, and I honor you and who you are, who you have been, who you are, and who you are becoming. I believe in you. I know that it's a struggle sometimes to show up, but I'm trying to just remind you of why it's such a struggle to show up sometimes, because you're not clear. You know? Maybe sometimes you don't quite know who you are and what you stand for, but you got to define that. You got to be clear about that. Okay? That's it. That's it. You need anything? DM me, holler at me. I got some stuff coming up. I got some fire coming up for you in, what is this, November and December. Don't worry. I just had to jump in here and release this message. It was important for me to release a couple things that I said in here, just energetically for me. But trust me, I got something for you. The rest of this month, December, I got some fire for you. All right? Because those who I know, are going into December, going into 2021, right where we need to be. All right? I love you guys. I'm out of here. Mwah.